look at him, he's so happy. Now wait, this is Valentina. Resume saved. The save file is called I don't know what am I doing. How far did I go last stream? We established orbit around Kerbal. And today we're gonna go to the moon. Not on the moon, to the moon. Like my plan is to have Jebediah smacking into the moon. Last thing we have done yesterday, we went into the orbit around Kerbal and we did some science. We actually did it twice. The first time that we established orbit around Kerbal, I did all of the science experiments and then they all burnt on the way back. Like, we survived, but anything that was attached to the outside of our rocket burnt when we made it back into the atmosphere. And so I pretty much, like, I successfully established an orbit, but we didn't bring much to prove it. So we established orbit again, and this time I made sure to collect all of the samples, give them to Jebediah, and when we came back, we still had the same problem, everything burnt, but the results of those tests, Jebediah collected them, so we finally had all of that science. Reason why we have 54 science points that we can spend. How are we going to spend them? Mad One, hello, can Penny onto the moon? I need to know if it's made of cheese. It's so important that I discover if it's made of cheese. These are the two choices that we have right now. We can unlock advanced rocketry. I know that you can't see. Like, sadly, in this game, there isn't really a place where I can put my camera and I am not covering anything. I will always cover something. Always. Jupiter to Leo, but Earth, Kerb, Moon, transfer orbit somehow escaped to you. It's fairly accurate. That's something that I will have to learn today. Oh, Fish, hello. Leo is watching birds in the window, and in his full ek mode. That is something that I miss, because Chicho never does it. It was a Poppy thing, and even Poppy only really did it when she was young. And growing up, I think she understood that it didn't really work, so I haven't heard ik in real life in a very long time. Advanced rocketry would give me another liquid fuel engine, fuel tank, Starshot. What are you? I don't know what this item is supposed to be. Jebediah Kerman, it's dangerous. Ah, this is the firework launcher. Okay. And this is the same thing but bigger. Otherwise, general construction, crew cabin, strut connector, decoupler, structural fuselage. Launch stability enhancer and brand adapter. So I absolutely have no idea what half of this stuff is. So I think I am just going to research these, because eventually we are gonna research everything at all. Back in here. So, another problem that I am having. I have sort of just been making the same rocket over and over and over, and adding parts as I want to keep expanding. Now, what is the issue? The issue is that I still don't really understand in which way some of the parts are better or worse than others. Harry, have a good night. What I do understand is that it's very important that the blue ball that you see here should always be under the yellow ball, because if it's above the yellow ball, we are not gonna be in a good balance. So that is something that I know. Something else that I know I don't know what else do I know. I do know that we are going to need a lot more power if we want to keep a lot more fuel, more than a lot more power, if we want to keep going and expand the orbit farther. You've been a little intimidated by this game. It is intimidating, but I will give you a suggestion in case you ever want to play. Don't really do the tutorials, like only do the main tutorials, like the first 2 or 3. Don't bother with doing all of the tutorials, because I was feeling extremely overwhelmed, and a lot of the things, like tutorials are just a wall of text after another, and they only explain stuff in a written form, and then they don't really do a great job with explaining you in practice, and it just makes you feel overwhelmed, and then you don't know how to apply the information anyway. So I think it's way better that you just start playing, and if you explode, whatever, it's not like you are gonna die in real life. Because you're competing computer faction that tries to reach the moon first. So, for example, right now I am in the mood for experimenting. This rocket that we have right now, this part on the top is where the crew, namely Jebediah, where Jebediah is. It's this tip. This is the parachute that of course we are gonna need on the way down. Actually, let's start from the bottom. So we start at the very start of, like, we launch using this. This is solid fuel. Like, literally every single one of these that you see, it's all solid fuel. And we start by burning that. Then, as soon as the fuel is about to run out, and quite honestly, at that point, the rocket is about to burn. Beta High, Spooky Dave, hello. Dark Fraggle, hello. Other rockets orbiting or being nice and fireworky. They have been collaborating with me pretty decently. Try and see how it goes. We learn from our mistakes sometimes. Yeah, and it's not like you die for real. So, first stage, liftoff. We consume the solid fuel down here. Then we detach this final part, we let it go. And this second part, that we are gonna call the orange part, this is liquid fuel. And then eventually, after we establish an orbit and all of that, we don't even need this liquid fuel. Like, on the way down, we don't need the liquid fuel anymore. So we detach once again, and we re-enter in the atmosphere with only this final part. Issues. Issue number 1. I only have, with this configuration, I only have just enough fuel to establish the orbit and then come back. So if we want to try and make a much bigger orbit and eventually make it close to the moon, we will need a lot more fuel. But like, a lot more fuel. Issue number 2, so far, every single time, on the way back into the atmosphere, this white part that you see, it burns. Now, thankfully, it's just, it contains experiments that Jebediah can collect, so it's not really that important that it burns, but it would be nice if I could understand how not to make it burn. Like, that would be ideal. In orbit, you had enough to reach the moon. I don't think so, or I should say, I would have had enough fuel to reach the moon, but then I would have not been able to come back. I would have not been able to come back. Because then, if you want to exit the orbit, you need to use your thrusters. Carlo, hello! It's below 30 in your room for the first time in a week. Almost chilly! I hope that is a good sign for me for the days to come. If you enter a little shallower, it solves the burn. I still have a very hard time with both establishing the orbit and then exiting the orbit. There is much fuel to save by making the getting into orbit part of flying as efficient as possible. I already know about having to lay myself on the horizon line at 90 degree. Like I am already doing it in the efficient way. I kind of want to. Can I duplicate this? I think we can duplicate this, right? This game can be really hard, it really can. And in my opinion, it's a lot about experimentation. So we are going to experiment. I am gonna do science. A flag that can be applied to size 1 tank and other parts with the same curvature to show pride for your mission. But of course I am gonna do that. Like, it means that I... Look at how tiny is this flag, though. I don't really think this is going to change much when it comes to weight. So let's be proud of Jeb. Gotta go grab some food, grab something fresh. Fresh. Experiment storage unit. We haven't used this one. Is it different from Science Junior? I am assuming it is different. Did you watch any tutorial videos? No. Where we are going, we don't believe in tutorials. I'm assuming this must be something different. But can we surround it with... like, do we have something structural? We do have something structural, but I can't really put it there. I'm assuming that I am not understanding how this structural thing really works. Okay, so this is not something that we can put around that thing. It says experiments, but it's not really needed. So it's not another way to perform experiments. Because this one performs experiments, and the canisters also do, and whatnot. You took an LT for your major in college called Men in Space. It covered the history of space exploration, the effects of space travel on the body. You had a small but honest nasal lab underneath one of the humanities building. Sadly, you've forgotten most of what you learned. Still, it sounds incredibly interesting. I was reading about how if you spend a lot of time in space, it can modify the density of your bones, and there is a chance that you might come back and your face doesn't look the same as it did when you first went. Calcium leaches out. It's kinda scary if you think about it. You know, the sacrifice that is made by people who spend a lot of time in space.
Mamma mia!
Unzipped, thank you! Thank you for the 13 months. And thank you for being here today. Let's say that I want something way bigger. Your eyesight is changed when going to space because of the zero gravity. In better or in worse? On which side? Chat, what if I want to do something questionable? What if I want to do something that is probably really stupid? Like, nobody ever died because someone had a stupid idea, right? You could assume worse because the fluid in your eyeball gets affected. Okay, that sounds like it would be worse. I'm really thinking about doing something stupid. I'm not even entirely sure that this is the right type of fuel. Because of course I played the game yesterday, and you will think that it's just, you know, a difference of a day, wouldn't really do much, but with my poor sleep-deprived brain, it does make a difference. Why are you not... I'm trying to make it snap, and it's not snapping. Now it did. It is rocket science! I mean, I am assuming that even in real life, a lot of discoveries... I'm not talking about rocket science in particular, I'm talking about science. I think a lot of discoveries have been made by extremely curious people. It's me, I am the extremely curious person right now. How long did I play Magic? Until like 1 AM. Hold Alt to snap. I feel like it was snapping without holding Alt yesterday, but I wonder what is the difference. John, hi! It's nice to see you. I'm playing a big brain game. You know what is the funniest part about me? I know nothing about physics. And I am not just talking about like astrophysics, like most people don't know about astrophysics. No, I never studied not even base physics. I know nothing about what am I doing. But I am still having fun, even if I am not understanding much. Now, let's say... do we need more engines? We do need more engines. This is probably such a stupid idea that I am having right now. But you know when they say curiosity killed the cat? Well, I am the cat. The radial decoupler. I should have put it inside, isn't it? If I want this external part to split eventually, it should have been inside, not outside, isn't it? It's like a connection. Trust the weight is how much acceleration you have. Basically less than 1 and you can't take off. Where do I see this data? It's a good game for learning, but you guess you suck at astrophysics. You have to live with it. At the same time, your GPU beats hard. I don't know if this is a heavy game to run, but I do know that it takes forever to load. Maybe in the engineer report, one of the bottom right buttons down here. Mass, size, height, width, length. Show severities. Design checklist. It's showing me a bunch of symbols, but it's not telling me what they mean. No? This is the book? It's not really telling me anything. Now that's a rocket. Yeah, but I don't know if this is going to lift off. I'm sort of struggling with these. Let me undo what I did, because I think... So, the idea is that I will want this item that I am showing you, like this one, the decoupler. I will want it to push away the excess of rockets when we don't need it anymore. So I am assuming they have to go inside, not outside. Nobody's telling me, so I'm just gonna try. Like, I'm assuming that it has to attach this way? Is this the way? Do I need a decoupler for each one of them? If you click one of the engine stages on the right, Is it going to show me? Is it going to show me? No, it's not really showing me. Like, I am not sure that I am being able to explain what is my doubt, what I'm trying to ask. Like, I want to have another layer of rockets to the side. Click on the stage either the orange bit. It expands to show Delta V and TWR. Oh, TWR, yes. It's behind my camera. It says 0. 1.36. What was the number that you were telling me about? What is the number that I have to avoid? I already forgot what this is all about, by the way. Like, just so that we are on the same page, I forgot why you were telling me about all of this stuff. Because I was too busy thinking about the other problem that I was facing and that I still haven't solved. So I forgot why you were telling me about this TWR. Once fire high-energy lasers into active rocket propellant infused with nitroglycerin, learn it burns very well. Is it not what we are trying to do? Running any plugin? No. It's when I play a game for the first time, I don't add any mods or anything. Simply because I wouldn't even know what they do, since I am not familiar with the game. Tizers alone. Okay, I scrolled up, the number has to be above 0. It's 0 in the parachutes, but it was never a problem. The WR of your bottom stage 3 right now needs to be more than 1, or your rocket won't have enough thrust to get off the ground. 1.2, 1.5 is a good amount. And right now it's 2.63. So 2.63 sounds about right. I still don't know. I still have to solve that other problem that I was having. So I want another row of liquid fuel around the shaft that you see here. I am sure that there is a better name, but you get what I mean. Okay? And I want it to be able to decouple at a certain point. But I don't want it to decouple horizontally. I want it, sorry, not vertically, but horizontally. And I do have a horizontal decoupler. But I have never used it, and so I don't really know precisely how many of these do I need. And if I need them before the part that needs to be ejected, or after. Also need more solid fuel to get the new liquid fuel to orbit. I don't think so. Do we need more solid fuel? The coupler becomes a stage. You want them in a stage above the engines of the tanks you want to decouple. But you are talking about the stages to the right. I am talking about an engineering problem. Like, I am... How can I explain it? I don't know where they go and how many of them I need. Like, physically. I am very clear to you. But do you have the answer? Yeah, I was like, but do you have the answer? Hi, Vaxas. If you meant how many side tanks do you need? No, I mean what is the ratio between decoupler and side tank? Like, do I need one decoupler for each side tank? That's what I mean. 1-to-1, one decoupler for each tank. Okay. And I am assuming that they have to go before the tank. So we attach them here, and then we place the tank. Like this. Probably 4 because you won't be able to fit all of them. I just fit more than 4. They can also be attached to brackets if you want to offset the engines. No, now we are becoming too complicated. I don't know what is a bracket. I have no idea what that means now. Fine. You mean solid rocket booster or fuel tank? No, I feel like for what I have in mind, I might want... Wait, but do we have batteries? Because if we don't have batteries, then everything that I am saying, we do have batteries. So we're also gonna need to find a place where to put these batteries. The tanks are squarely attached to the decoupler. They are. Okay. So it means that I have to keep doing this. And then of course we're gonna need this. Now, is what I am doing a good plan? I have no idea. It might be a good plan or it might be a very awful plan. There's only one way to know, and I am all about the idea of discovering it. Can you please? Okay. You can have one decoupler per side stack. Nah, that sounds too complicated. Like sometimes you guys really try to give me meaningful backseating. But the thing is that I absolutely have no idea what anything means. Which makes an otherwise pretty useful type of backseating completely useless, and it's not your fault, it's mine. Just I don't have in my brain what it's necessary for me to understand. This is because Axiom is a rocket scientist. Like, for real, for real? I was never really interested in any sort of science growing up, which is something that I regret now. Like, as a grown-up, I wish I was interested. Axiom is actually in the industry, it's really cool. Hell, sometimes I wonder what is wrong with me. Because even when I was a kid, like, starting from a worrisome young age, I always seem to be interested in, like, politics and economics. Okay, I think this is the best we can do. And again, don't ask me if what I am doing makes any sense. I really don't know. Then we're gonna need to top them. Where, there you go. It's because I was born 70 years old. I think it might be because I spent more time with my grandparents than with my parents when I was a kid. And that was like, if I wanted to talk with my grandpa, those were the topics that he cared about. So it was kind of like a bonding thing. Like, you know, all of my life, my grandpa would wake up and, like, first thing in the morning, he would go buy the newspaper because he had to read the economical page. And then he would just complain about the economy. And when that's, you know, the way you observe the grown-ups, I feel like it's kinda normal. You were interested in optimizing money versus effort, and it took you to engineering. That is something that people still say in Italy nowadays. Like, if you want to make sure that you will find a job, study engineering. Can we for Penny unlock strats? Somebody yesterday told me that I had to enable some setting, and I did enable that setting. And they were telling me that that was supposed to be automatic strats, and so I didn't even bother understanding what that was supposed to be, since isn't it automatic now? You're just doing a special extra challenge where you take a lot of extra decoupler to the moon as well. Am I? Those tanks that you not attach with Alt are not attached to the decouplers, they are attached to the tanks below them. Those tanks that you not attach with Alt are not attached to the decoupler, they are attached to the tanks below them. I thought they were attached to both things. How can I make them attached to both things? Until you research them, then you won't get them. We are in science mode. You turn on the option, but it didn't work yet. We attach the very first rated decoupler are the only ones that count. And I can't do it again? So, you are telling me that I don't need all of them. That's what you are telling me? Like, all of these, it's so useless. Because I only needed one. I don't even know what am I doing right now. I didn't do it wrong, you just didn't need them all. So only the first one is useful, and the others are not. Okay, so this is the first row. And this is attached. Then the wings were placed it was a little wonky. And it will still work. It will work anyway. Can you please? Thank you. You periscope, hello. Okay, now. Wings. These are the best I have, right? I think so. And we will need, I would say, the same amount that we have underneath, because eventually this is going to be basically the replacement for them. It looks over-engineered. I have no idea. I'm kinda just having fun with it. Now, the thing is that I also want batteries. Over-engineering is 90% of the fun. Yeah, I mean, it's a video game. If I wanted realism, I was going to actually study this stuff. Commutron, lightweight antenna, suitable for moderate range communication. Long range backup communication or eavesdropping? I want to eavesdrop. Chat, I want to eavesdrop. Can we eavesdrop? Asking for a friend. Short range surface mount version of the Communotron. Most of your real-life proposals are based on the things you have done in video games, see? This is the famous strat that you guys were talking about. And what the hell am I supposed to do with it? I stick it in my butt. Launch stability. Significantly increase the stability of spacecraft during the pre-launch phase. Is this going... Oh my lord. And where the hell am I supposed to fit this? Around the entire thing? Do I... Is it just going to hug the... Why... Chat, why is rocket science so suggestive? Now that I had the strats, we hope that you actually will have the auto strat option. So I'm gonna leave this behind. No, this is not what I was meant to do. No, this is still not what I was meant. I have no idea what I have to do. Auto strat disabled, it says. But didn't I enable it in the menu? They go on the outside, keep the ship upright until released at stage. Auto strat is friend. Yeah, but I thought I enabled auto strat in the options. Okay, but do I have to enable it for literally every single one of these? No, because that's a lot. Like, it's really annoying. I made the option available, and now I have to remember for literally every single one of these things. I also don't know what any of this means. Those men high, you can do for one set at a time. And do I just have to do heaviest part? Root part, grandparent part. Not a clue. In all of these, I still wanted batteries, by the way. Are we gonna hug the shaft here? Let's hug the shaft. You know, at this point, it might as well become extremely over-engineered instead of just a little over-engineered. Okay. And then we go with batteries. Battery! Battery! Is it normal that the blue thing is all the way at the bottom? Yes. Can I save a copy of... Save? But I saved this as Jeb's Delight, and I kinda wanted to make a copy instead, but that's okay. Structural support making things not bendy and crazy. Oh, that one time that the rocket was bloop 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 bloop. Bloop 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 bloop. Well, let's try it out. Let's see what happens. What could possibly go wrong? It's not like I have a plan on anything, I just want to see if these things will fly. Oh, sorry, I forgot about them. Hold on. Okay, this is not supposed to happen at this stage, I believe. Yeah, all of those are not supposed to happen at this stage. That is supposed to happen at this stage. Mistakes, huge mistakes are being made right now. I might have a little bit too many of them altogether. Okay, I need you to go with your friends. Can you please go with your friends? Okay, these are your friends. Okay. And you will all go in that moment. What are you? That is... I have too many things. How do I go back? I mean, I am not so sure that from here it's any easier. I feel like it's the same. Final stage? Not the final stage. Not the final stage at all. Okay, you go. And I need you to go with these. Like, at the same time as these. Yes. I don't want to save these changes, but you can save the changes after doing all of the work. I still have no idea what am I doing anyway. Is it supposed to be? No. There is no chance you accidentally trigger a stage. Oh, I will totally trigger something accidentally. So you go first with all of the engines and whatever. Yes. Do this thing need to be at its own stage? I still don't really know what that thing does. So I don't really know. TWR 1.51, so that should be okay. We should have triggered warning to your spacebar, true. So first we start going, then there should be a decoupling. But where is that?
Monkey.
Fala, hello. Where is the decoupling that I need? You are the decoupling that I need. So you go next. And at the same time... I don't know what that is. Ah, no, that is the other decoupling. No way. No way. You don't have to happen at the same time at all. So first these decouples. And at the same time, we want to start the engines. I think I am going to make an amount of mistakes here that even half of them would be enough. Then after this stage... After this one stage, we decouple vertically. Then there is this other decoupling, and then the parachute. Okay. So this is bigger Jeb's Delight, and we save it. You can't see any of the stages, yeah, I know. Which is why I was saying that maybe it was better to do this on the launchpad, because on the launchpad they are on the other side. Just like a SpaceX launch, as I said earlier, I don't care if we cause an explosion, because I am practicing for when I will be a billionaire. Jebediah, are you ready? In case you're wondering what was my plan with all of this, I literally just want to see how far I can go. That's it. That was my... I don't even care about... Ooh, why are we bending on a side? This is very phallic. Chat, do we know why we are bending on a side? Do we have a clue? Not enough stabilization. Is that not what those strats were supposed to be all about? Press T. Can I already do this? Something exploded. I'm sure it's fine. So we are now... No. Aren't we now on liquid fuel? Yes. It looks like we are going to be attacking another country or something like that. I keep forgetting which one is prograde and which one is retrograde. No, whatever. I don't have a way to go up. We are attacking another country, everybody. Let's wait to see what happens when I do this. Bang! Well, that was something. That was something. Did you add any swiveling engines? I have no idea what a swiveling engine is supposed to be. So I am assuming that no, I didn't. Yay! Anton, hi. Pukito, hello. So what was the problem here? Like, we have these things that are supposed to help with stabilization, and yet we weren't stable at all. That was a result. That was one of the results ever. They told you that I am violent, not a rocket scientist. I mean, haven't you seen what I have just done? First, I called it a winner, and then I make it land straight into the ground, so that's violent. I am a violent rocket scientist. Trey, hello. Ah, man. You know, yesterday I was telling everybody how I got sold on the idea of doing 10 squats every 45 minutes. Like, you weren't trying to sell it to me, and yet I bought it. And then somebody, totally not me, made the decision of playing MTG with my friends until like 1 in the morning, knowing that the alarm was at 6. And so today I said, I don't wanna wear real trousers, I'm just gonna be wearing shorts, because it's not like chat can see my legs anyway. But I was meant to start squatting. It's okay, chat, tomorrow. Like a good Italian, I will start tomorrow. And then tomorrow never comes, but I will start tomorrow. Trey was telling us, we read a trade the other day, it was really fun. He was telling me that he does 10 squats every 45 minutes, which is not really, it's not that bad, you know, it's not really disruptive of the stream, it takes just a moment, it's whatever, and you know, it's just 10 squats, so it shouldn't really hurt your legs terribly. But if you stream if you stream 7 hours, and that's about the amount of time that I normally stream, it will amount to those famous 10,000 steps that you are supposed to walk in a day. And you know, we talk about this kind of stuff literally all the time, that I complain I don't have time to work out, that I wish to work out, but I have a hard time making time for it. And so at the end of the day, on a normal day, the only thing I do is taking a walk. And don't get me wrong, it's better to walk than to do absolutely nothing. Like, at least I am not entirely sedentary. But I want more. I just really want more. And they always say, but chat, I don't have the time because I stream so much. Well, if I work out during the stream, that will count, right? Don't let engineers play MTG until late. Guys, I have no idea what am I doing. You expect that Carlo is currently writing a big comment about the auto strat. So, did I auto strat wrong? Should I not auto strat on the heaviest parts? Just do the go piece girl screen and do 10 squats. Yeah, but at this point, you know, today I might as well just do it when I go piece. The nice thing about tomorrow is that it's never today. True. Warhorse, hello. Ricky, hi. You heard your name. Wrongtown thinks that you are going to try and explain the autostrat to me, when the truth is that you know better, and you know that it's you can't teach a new trick to an old dog, and I am a geriatric dog. Explain this game. Should you buy it? Was your dream as a young what is the name of a young horse in English? It's escaping my brain. Foal. Was your dream as a young as a war foal? Was your dream to become a rocket scientist? If it was, then you should buy this game. If it wasn't, then you shouldn't buy this game. Or a pony, like maybe you were a pony. Usually go to grandparent. You think heaviest can change in flight? So now I have to locate whatever was the one. Autostrat grandparent part. Okay, but what is the difference? Is it just, are we trying to keep everything as if it was a hug? An engineered hug? Autostrat grandparent, but that is the grandparent though. My strats are fine, so you think that was not the problem? Do I not have enough power in my engines? Is the problem in my engines? Partly to hug each other, so only through love can true science be achieved. That is what Dr. Stone taught me. I really wish I could say incredible anime, guys. You should really watch it, but I would be lying to you. I kept watching it because at this point I started it and I watched multiple seasons and I felt like I really had to continue. You kind of felt that coming. I mean, I am playing this game because Dr. Stone gave me the vibe. I really don't know. I don't know how to change it from how it was before. You felt the same. Like the first season, I legit liked it. The second season, I was starting to feel some fatigue, but it was still more than okay. The third season was crap. Like, I can't really find many redeeming qualities in season 3. But at that point, that was season 3, and I have watched 3 seasons. Then season 4 came out, and I was like, do I really want to watch that? And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and then boredom take the best of me, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna watch it. Like, at this point, I invested so much time, and season 4, I did like it. So, long story short, season 3 sucks. It's terrible. Do you have tail fins or other control surface fins? I have these fins. I watched this already for so long, I have to... Yeah, I needed to know how it ended. Even though I found it a bit predictable. But I mean, it's anime. Tail fin. Is it... You stupid moron. I'm talking about... I'm not calling you morons, chat. It's me. I am the stupid moron. I was using the wrong wings. I was using this winglet instead of using the tail fin. Wait, no, but tail fin is for airplanes. Is this not for airplanes? Can I know something about you? Delta Deluxe Winglet. What am I doing? Tail fin goes on the tail, wings go in the middle. I'm gonna cancel all of the wings. Delta Deluxe Winglets, I am going to put them back where they were. Yes. And they were here. And I actually had many of them, not just these guys. Because we wanted more stability. Yeah, it was honestly, it was literally just sunken cost fallacy. I watched the thing for too long to just let it go. Tail connector tail fin. This tail fin has passed extensive modeling in blah blah blah. Blunted to prevent accidental dismemberment of installing technicians. And so this goes in a different place. So these are supposed to go up. But then eventually this is going to be tail. Because eventually we're gonna detach this second part and it will be the same. The tail is in the eye of the beholder. And beholders have so many eyes. What happens if I put one of these winners at the bottom? Probably nothing. Just as a demonstration, remove all of the SRBs and just try with the liquid fuel engines. You silly billies, you really think that I can't remember the name of things? Like, you think I know what is an SRB? Just because I've been playing the game? You know how many days of playing the game it will take me to memorize the name of stuff? Tail fins are control surfaces. You can see if your RMB... You guys are being too complicated. You have to speak to me as if I was a dog. Super rhubarb bubblegum. I don't know what is the flavor of rhubarb. You don't know all of the acronyms. I know, right? I am a fake gamer.
Gaming.
Big bottom. I just saw big bottom and then Twitch chat scrolled, so I will assume that you are talking about chat's mom. Big bottom winners SRB. So these guys. The white shafts. Akuma, hello, hello. Yeah, good girl, thank you. Yeah, talk to me as if I was a dog. It's really hard to follow the stream with Penny using all of this technical jargon, like winners. Yeah, these are all winners. You see, okay, hold on. I am going to explain the game to everyone. Maybe. So, these are solid winner tanks. These are also... No, these are not solid winner tanks. These are liquid winner tanks. This is the pip. This is the parachute. These are all of the science stuff. Batteries. And this is the winner hugger. Engine. Those things that you see there, those are the engines. That's how it works. Wrongtown wants me to pull out the big shaft, but the big shaft were there yesterday, and yesterday we didn't really have any problem with the rocket. Like, we only had problems with the new stuff that we put in the rockets. Liquid ones filled with hot dog water. Like, I am not understanding why I should remove something that was there yesterday. It flies slower now, which makes it harder to control. Okay, I wanna try something. But it's not what you guys are telling me to try, because I am a rebel. And as the rebel that I am, I do what I want. And this is what I want. She's still a good girl. Thank you. So instead of having multiple instances of liquid fuel, maybe we can have multiple instances of solid fuel. Yeah? But then I am not finding. There you go. Good job. Found it. Found it. Now we have this other little problem that I removed all of the wings. Yes. So we have to put the wings back. Why do I have wings of a butterfly stuck in my head? Why does my brain have to work in this way? Why can't I just forget these songs? This is like torture. What happens if I do this? Just... I don't know. You know, if I added spikes, what if I added a spike? What is it going to happen? Like, it's so edgy, it's... Edgy, something edgy, something edgy. I'm thinking about an edgy name. My last resort. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Explosions. Very probably. Cat pig, hello. Squall. That would have been edgy. Now, what happens if we launch? I could have called it after that band. What was the name of that band? Come, my lady. Come, my lady. I'm a butterfly, sugar baby. Ah! I forgot the stages. I forgot to change the stages. The stages. So this is not it's not supposed to happen immediately. That's supposed to happen later. First, we activate the ones at the bottom. Also, before you guys yell at me, autostrat grandparent. Autostrat grandparent. Okay, much better. What about you? Autostrat to the heaviest part, which is probably also the grandparent. It is the grandparent. What about you? Autostrat grandparent. Perfect. Amazing. What about you? You can't autostrat. Good to know. Now, about the stages. Shouldn't the first stage be used before the second? I think so. So first we do that. Then eventually we have to remove them and this will start. Amazing, perfect, gorgeous. What the hell? I don't know what this... There is a part that I... What are you? What the hell are you? Ah, liquid fuel engine! Okay. Then I guess it does make sense. Apologies to Bowie. So this happens next. Yes. But then what about these? No. Stop touching anything. When are these happening? Oh, okay. No. These are happening here. So this happens first. I need one more stage, I believe. Why did I... Chat, I overcomplicated my life. I overcomplicated it. You could ride the blast wave for launch, but it needs more trust then. The blast wave sounds like a great name for a thrash metal band. The goal is to get the fire to not come out of anywhere, just the tail. Yes, that is the goal. That is the goal. So the final part, you see, I know that you don't see the stages, but you see the green glow. The final part goes first. Yes. Then with the couple, and these other engines start. But I don't want the one in the middle to start. I want these. And then I want those to detach, and that one in the middle to start. And then everything else is fine. Launch. This time, we shouldn't fart fire. Actually, we should fart fire, but from the very back. Good news is that we are going straight. Bad news is that we absolutely don't have enough propulsion. We need okay, I think I know what is the problem. I think I can't have such a big rocket if I don't first unlock better engines. I think our engines are just not powerful enough. Solid winners are heavy and slow. This is not looking great. Why is this happening right now? Chat, why is this happening right now? Because I have the wings at the top. Okay, but it's like the Statue of Liberty. You are basically telling me that the Statue of Liberty is wrong. You are not real Americans. Anyway, I keep thinking that the real issue, the real issue is that we don't have enough propulsion. And these are the engines that I have. What happens if I put an engine on top of the other engine? Am I going to double engine? I am assuming this is not gonna do anything at all. We get back to a rocket that is all bolsters. I was trying to make the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty did go to space, exactly, so it means that it's possible. It's just the chat never believes me. Chat, why you never believe me? You can, but you need a decoupler to be able to separate them. So I can't make the ones that I already have stronger. I can't do that. Maybe if we are having a propulsion issue, we don't want that much more solid fuel. We just want a little bit of solid fuel. You know, like this amount of extra solid fuel. You know, for a start. Every solid booster that I add a lot of weight. Yeah, I think this might be a solution. I think maybe this is gonna help. It will still give me an extra boost compared to yesterday. When George Washington rode the Statue of Liberty to the moon, did he quit? No, exactly. Like, if you want to be a true, proud, eagle American of freedom, you need to believe that you can. Is this not what the American dream is all about? Now, once again, we will need to move these somewhere else. Because that's very much not the final stage. This is the initial stage. Then, with a couple, yes. And this start. Then, with a couple, and this starts. Everything is making sense. You stop your pool outside, it's 60 centimeters high and you can stretch out of it. It sounds... I don't know, I would want a deeper pool, but it's better than nothing. Much better than nothing. I might love what Ollie is doing for his birthday on the 1st. Is he adopting another mouse? Okay, we are going straight up, which is honestly great news. Because that is the direction you are wishing to go to. But I do feel like we were going much faster yesterday. Look at Jebediah. Jebediah is worried. Jebediah isn't happy. Enable SAS so you don't forget. SAS consumes electricity. Well, but I do have batteries, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, we ran out of solid fuel. Next. Ah, we are burning. We are burning. I want to see for how long we can keep going. Okay. Why are they still attached? Because I made some mistake with the stages, that's why. How far are we? Not particularly far. It really doesn't look like I have done anything different from yesterday, I would say. I stacked in the tank instead of the decoupler, apparently so. And so now we're gonna be very heavy for no reason at all. Okay, here is the horizon. Where is all of my... That's all of the liquid fuel that I have. Welp. No, we are going farther away. I always really struggle in this stage because I either find the 90 degree or I stay on the line, but I really struggle with doing both. See, now we are basically on the 90 degree. But now we also have to make it back to the horizon line. You thought Kerbal was flat? Thankfully I am a person of science. Ding dong. Ding dong. Okay, this is looking nearly perfect. Where the hell am I? We're not that close to AP. But we are also not that far from AP. The second film, Semi-Naked Jenny Agutter. I thought it was a great story, and I also thought that literally every single one of the actors, other than Peter Ustinov, were dogs. Including Jenny Agutter. Like, yeah, she was attractive, but all of the actors were so bad. We are 2 minutes from AP. The single decoupler floating away. It's okay. If we are lucky, it's going to hit like some idiot. We totally don't have enough fuel for the moon. Maybe I should add more liquid fuel. Can you build a space station? I have no idea. I started playing this game yesterday. In the book it was 21, which sounds like a meme because I always pretend that I am 21. Your AP is much higher than it needed to be. And why? Why is that so? There is like 5 liquid tank stack, it's not enough. To reach the moon, I don't think it's enough. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's enough. You need more fuel, which means more weight, which means more thrust, which means that I have to first unlock better engines. You tried explaining gravity turns yesterday? Yeah, I still have no idea what you guys meant. I followed the instructions, and the instructions were 90 degrees and horizon line. If you do a 100 km circular orbit, you save fuel on getting a higher AP. Is it not literally what I did? Am I not? 100 is a... Yesterday you said 90. I am so confused. I am really confused. I am following your instructions, chat. You say go to the horizon line or close enough to it and put yourself on the 90 degrees line, and I have done that. 1 kilometer and 90 bearing are not related. So there is yet another thing that I am supposed to do, and they all have to happen at the same time? They all have to happen at the same time? The turn towards the horizon should start at 20k, not at 200k. In which case, I need more fuel. Because it means that I have to use the thrust a lot more. Speaking of fuel, if I don't keep some of it, we are never going to enter back. But I first wanted to at least establish an orbit. We don't have enough fuel, we're never gonna go back home. Yeah, we're on an orbit, but it's useless. I didn't need to be in orbit. Technically, we are trying to reach this orbit. That big one, like, you see? You see how far I am from my objective? If the staging had worked, your rocket would be much lighter now. True. That is true. Reason why I think I am not even gonna do science, I just... We want to revert the flight, revert to vehicle assembly. I think I want to rethink all of this. Remember you wanted to try liquid fuel and you went for solid rocket boosters? Yeah, no, I think it's probably for the best if we go with more liquid. Is there any problem with more liquid? Like, is there a reason why I went with solid? Probably no. T100 is a miniature fuel tank, made to be even more adorable than a bigger brother. Handle stoically and with care. The difference between these two is just the sides. My rocket is PP shaped enough. All rockets are PP shaped. Every single one of them. Are you attached to the right thing now? How do I make sure that it's attaching to the coupler? It's not really giving me a signal or something. I mean, why would I care about just being in the orbit? I have already been in the orbit multiple times. Of course I want to go to the moon. Like, what's the point of just orbiting? Now it looks attached, I would say. It is a staging ground. What? There is a touch card. Okay. What is that I was trying to find? Aerodynamics. There we go. The orbit. Yeah, but I already reached it. How many times do I have to reach it? Like, I am okay with reaching it again, but I want to make sure that every time it's bigger, and then bigger, and then bigger. Like, I don't want to just redo the same thing. I want to do better, and better, and better. Like, does it make sense? You probably want 6-8 DV total to get to the moon and back. Oh, I never say that I want to come back. That's not what I said. I say that I want to make it there. You want to put those sexy gimbal engines on those tanks. Is this a gimbal engine? I don't know what a gimbal is. What else did I want? I don't know what is that I wanted. But I guess since this playthrough is inspired by Dr. Stone, I should probably say that I want everything. Do we need wings on this one as well? I feel like if we put wings on this one as well, it might help with stability later on. But at the beginning, it's going to keep me down. No? Falcon, hello! Well, I haven't even made it to the moon yesterday. So what do I want? More control or more speed on the way up? Only if you are in atmosphere. And you will think that at that point I shouldn't really be anymore. Like, if everything went properly, there shouldn't be. I will have all of those engines. Yeah, I don't think we need more wings. This launch stability enhancer, we tried it once. I am not really sure that it greatly helped. Like, I think it's going to become way more useful later on. Don't forget to generate if you don't want to save. No, it's fine, it's whatever. I am likely to redo everything from scratch when I am not happy with with the result anyway. I'm just thinking if there is anything more than we need. This small inline reaction wheel, I tried to use it yesterday, and the time that I tried to use it, it went really poorly. So let's go with staging instead. Let's pretend this part is done. Destroy, erase, improve, hello. Insurance, the pilot is super happy when he's about to die. He is actually the happiest when he's about to die. I don't know what's wrong with him. Okay, this is the first stage, it makes sense. Then we have detach and start the second. Okay. Then we have detach and start the third. And then we have detach and then we have parachute. The parachute is set properly. Yes. Save. I didn't have the batteries, true, now I do. They are probably gonna burn on the way down, but I will not need them at that point. Let's try this time. And again, I am not expecting to immediately make it in the orbit of the moon, but I at least want to try and see if I can get a bigger orbit than I usually do. What if he's not happy? What if it's all the G's he's experiencing forcing his space into the shape? I don't know, because he's really happy even while in orbit. Technically he's not supposed to be, you know... He's not supposed to be subject to all of the G-force, and yet he smiles, because he's in a very dangerous situation. Wombat, thank you for sharing your haiku. I am personally not capable of writing a haiku. A flyby is a good objective. Yeah, we don't need to land, we don't have landing gear. I just want to see how close I can make it there. Before we launch though, I need to pee, so if you can give me 2 minutes, I will be right back. Sir! Are you aware of what you have just done? That is my car! Police! 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 They are stealing my car! Give it back! Give it back! I swear this is what I will do. Threaten him with the belt. That's what my grandpa would do.
Than when I am by your side. Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
You saw nothing. You saw nothing. I guess the child really doesn't like to be carried. I wanna take a look around here. Hi! Baby, hi! Can I pet the horse? I can't pet the horse! Say bye. Thanks. Well, chat, as a Khajiit, I feel like it's only normal that the wolf is my enemy. Where did it go? It disappeared. It's gone. Huh? What? No, I think this will do. So now technically, when you do something... Well, it did work. Well, I suppose it did definitely work. Excuse me? This is my house. This is my home. Stay away from my home. Right way to arrive here, but we arrived anyway. Can I run over the competition? Oh my... And I am back. Have you just grabbed a launch because you forgot to pee? That's awkward. Imagine! I think if I was an astronaut, I would probably pee on launch. Like, you know, out of this fear and the excitement tied to a launch. Like, I think I would pee a little bit. Try start turning earlier. Might be impossible when solid fuel engines are burning, but ultimately you want to start the turn at 1020k. So, would you recommend me to simply get rid of solid fuel and replace everything with just liquid? I don't really know why solid fuel... Like, the reason why I am using solid fuel is that the tutorial made you do that. But sometimes, just because the tutorial says something, it doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. Axiom, that's a beautiful P-emote. Jeb's green in the void, fearless heart of rocket flame. Green joy meets the stars. Why are you guys so talented and I am not? Solid fuel is great because it's cheap. Yeah, but I don't care about money. We are in science mode. It's perfectly viable to only use liquid, and it's probably lighter as well. What about 2 big solid fuels and the rest is liquid? It might complicate the staging a little bit, but at this point the staging is just complicated. They also get lighter as you use up the fuel, which is also for the best. Last double check. You decouple and you start. You decouple and you start. Sounds about right. Let's try and see where we go this time. Another problem that I have is that you say start turning earlier, but I only really understand where is that I have to go when the menu here in the center is bigger. Like, I guess I am going towards the 90, and now I am not anymore. Eee! No, this was bad. Oh, right, but now I only have liquid fuel, so I am supposed to throttle. Like... Mistakes were made. Now, we are absolutely not in the right place at all. That is why it's bad, because I will forget about the engine. Can you please look up? Why are you not looking up? It's not looking up. Just I think this might be the reason why I went with solid. Maybe. Maybe the reason is that I simply I don't understand how to make it move. Slag, hello. Turn up the throttle as part of your pre-flight. Is that going to consume fuel before its time? Far too crazy, hello. Nothing to do with the solid fuel. While we use the solid fuel, I don't really need to manually maneuver. It won't consume any fuel, okay? You also have more weight on top, so the first stage gets less height. No, that makes sense. So you would say, we throttle immediately, and we go. Why are we going to the side? I didn't change anything compared to the previous time. You see how Jebediah is happy? Like, we might blow up and he's laughing. You see why I keep telling you that he's completely crazy? I have no idea how am I supposed to start angling it. And now, and yeah, this... What is even the point of telling it prograde then? There. We're going there. No, we're going there too hard. We are going there way too hard. Please stop going there. Not going there. No way. Impossible to maneuver. I feel like I am way lower than I usually am. Are we not way lower than we usually are? This is an extremely low orbit. I am too low this time. Look at how far we are from AP. It's... and we are burning, by the way. We are also burning. Yep. Shelb, just in time. You could say that we are greeting the raiders with some firework. You just have to wait a little longer, and I suspect you are gonna see the firework. Shelb, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody. As you may or may not imagine, I am not exactly a rocket scientist. Like, I'm not. You know about the moon being made of cheese, but you have heard that Minmas is chocolate mint ice cream favorite. I don't even know that place. I never heard of that. Alex, hello. Chris, hello. Milestorm, hello. Moni Mike, hello. Anna, hello. Hi. 70s, hello. Welcome. Welcome, Raiders. Shelb, thank you for the resub as well. Thank you for the 7 months. Doc, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Dr. Ram, hello, hello. So many doctors. Maybe I might need you. I might need a... By the way, this is an orbit. You bunch of non-believers, you said that I didn't make it into an orbit. How do you call this, you nerds? Is it not a circle around the planet? Huh? What is the definition of that? I am orbiting. I am an orbiter. Should it crash into the water or land? I am afraid that we are just stuck here forever. I might be wrong, but I have this suspect that there is literally nothing we can do about going back on the planet. Soilwig, hello, hello. When you say the AP is over 100 kilometers, that means that you are wasting fuel by continuing to thrust. You can coast until you get to AP and then circularize. And if I am trusting, you guys say that it's wrong. And if I am not trusting, you guys say that it's wrong. It's like everything I do is always wrong. Are you my mom? Chat, are you my mom? Is everything I do always wrong? What okay, hello, hello. What was Shelb doing today, everybody? Shelb, what were you doing? I know that you probably have to go sleep. And I don't want to force you into whatever the hell is going on. We didn't die, but we also can't go back. Stuck forever is a good option. We should have bought more toilet paper. I mean, can't we just open very quickly a hatch and let it flow? Oh, Maru, hello, hello. Maybe the parachute is still working. Yeah, but we don't have any propulsion to push ourselves out of the orbit. And so our destiny is to forever orbit around the planet until we die of old age, or we starve, or the cabin is full of poop and we get an infection. You suspect my P is below 70k and so I will land again. Even though we are completely circling around? Chat's mom and Chat are both your mom. So I am doubly wrong. Well, I do your mom. Are we even now? I am a good girl, thank you. Raiders, I told everybody, since they were being extremely complicated with me, and I couldn't understand anything of whatever they were suggesting, I told them that they have to speak to me as if I was a dog. And that is my level of proficiency in physics. And they took it a bit too seriously, so now they are just telling me that I am a good girl. Can I at least have some food? You're playing Baby in Yellow and it was terrifying. I saw the game that Doc was playing. That was also terrifying. Nothing more terrifying than trying to do the same thing over and over and it doesn't work. That was also terrifying. Baby in Yellow, I am not familiar with it. What if I just jump towards the earth? Can I? Like maybe you go pam! Shoulder bash on the side of the earth, like pa-pam! As if you were trying to break open a door. She was child-minding some terrible infants, aren't they? You're terrible. 70k space, above no air, and below is air. Check the number. This number? The 48,000 number? That number? Why do we keep plowing your mom? Because she is extremely plowable, that's why. Yeah, a dog. Because if I told Chat, explain me as if I was 5, Chat never speaks to 5-year-old kids, so they don't know how to relate to a kid, but Chat totally talks to dogs. And so you have to explain stuff to me as if I was a dog. Rocket science is about a string of monumental mistakes until either it fails spectacularly or it didn't impress us. I mean, I would be impressed by a spectacular fail. I really would. We're just here. We're chilling. Could I check the number on PE? This one? 48. It's the same number that you can see down here. 48 something something. Your mom would likely believe that I can handle the situation, so she's better than chat. I will be landing, but also I don't have a real reason to be here. At what point does Jeb realize that he's dying? I don't know, he seems very pleased right now. Your 8-year-old nephew knows more about dinos than you do. He probably also knows more than me. You know what's my favorite dinosaur, chat? Your mom. If you accelerate until you hit periapsis, you will see its atmosphere and start slowing down. And then we can activate the parachute. Your 4-year-old granddaughter living with you, you talk to a child daily. Okay, and statistically, how many people in chat talk to a child daily? How many? What? A bit too much. A bit too much. What if I made it lag? We don't really have any experiment. You talk to me most of days. Baxas said that I am a 70 years old. So we're getting back into orbit, but first. The only issue is that this is kinda useless. Like, this is, I don't have any science. I don't have a reason to come back. I guess we could do science on the surface. It's not much, but it's something. Yeah, but first, look at him, look at Jebediah. He's like, oh my god, I might die. This is the best day of my life. He's freaking out. No, he's happy. Don't you see he's happy? This is the best day of his life. Did you see? He's clapping. It's like, yay! I wish I had the enthusiasm of Jebediah about literally everything. Anna, have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Finally, his nightmare comes to an end. It only comes to an end when we reach the planet. We can have a Jeb for science. Yeah, it's true, but also we are in no special place. Like, we are in a place where we have been before. So it will still give me some science, but it's not gonna give me a lot of science. It's not gonna give me, like, you know, a lot of points. Better than nothing. Better than useless. They're dependent on the area that I am currently above. I thought they were dependent on the altitude, on how far from the planet I was. Am I going back into the orbit? I am not getting closer to the planet. I'm getting farther away again. We are never gonna make it back home. Because I went through the atmosphere, it slowed me down. And my hypothesis is now much lower. I didn't slow down enough, so I just have to keep going, keep doing the same thing, until eventually it will work. I am creating an eclipse. Ah! You know, weird stuff always happens during an eclipse. That's no moon. Well, it's the butt of my capsule, and the butt is the moon. Play interstellar music. I have no idea what is the interstellar music. We're gonna orbit again. We are still not free from this nightmare, isn't it? Look at it, like, Jebediah is so happy. When I make him spin, it's when Jebediah is the happiest. I am starting to think we are never gonna make it to the moon. Chat. Let's revert the flight. I honestly had enough of just going in circles. Now, what went wrong? What were the problems? Why did we fail? Why did, like, I need to address all of the reasons for the failure. Are we too heavy? Do we need to remove too low in the initial orbit? Is it because we are too heavy? Fins on stage 2. But maybe we don't need fins on stage 2. Maybe the problem is that we don't get high enough in stage 1. At the height of stage 2, I had too much atmosphere. Because we are heavy. We are too heavy. There is totally too heavy as you are going to space. The fins let me steer and keep me from flipping. Okay, but the first time that we establish an orbit, and this ship was way smaller. Like, we didn't have all of these winners on the side. Okay, it was just a very thin, long winner. That first time that we were way lighter, we went up so much quicker. What if we drop the solid boosters for stage 1? Yeah, I was thinking about replacing them with more liquid. What is the problem with more liquid that I have to immediately trust? That's the only problem? Going up slow is okay. It only matters how much you have left when you get up. The slower I go up, and the more fuel I will need. Whether it was totally fine, except that I burned all of my fuel instead of cutting throttle when you were above 100k AP. There are too many things that I have to keep track of all at the same time. And I have to be on the horizon line, and I have to be at 90 degree, and I have to throttle, but then you have to cut throttle. Like, how many things am I supposed to do at the same time? Maybe we just want to try again in the same way. Let's try again. I usually wait before I start angling myself. I wait until the first stage is off. The slower you are through the lower atmosphere, the more fuel you need. Going up beyond that is not actually the objective. You want horizontal speed for an orbit. Too complicated for me. It's complicated enough that it sounds like, the way that I read it, it sounds like you are saying that I am right, when I know that you are actually saying that I am wrong. Be happy that this isn't rocket surgery. I think if there was a video game that simulates surgeries in this detail, I would be way better at playing that than at playing this. Because I am hypochondriac, and do you say hypochondriac in English? And so I know everything about the human body. There are nice surgery simulators, but do they go down to this level of detail? Like, are they really the equivalent of this game? The speed is what makes you orbit, but to get speed you need to go up to a thinner atmosphere. Okay, let me reread Carlo. The slower you are through the lower atmosphere, the more fuel you need. And if I keep saying that the problem is fuel consumption, then it means that up to that point we are on the same page. Going up beyond that is not actually the objective. You want horizontal speed for an orbit. That is the part where I don't understand anymore. Get to orbit is a balance between getting out of thick atmosphere, not fighting gravity too much, not burning up, but also making horizontal speed efficiently. And then I will need to still have enough fuel that I can increase the orbit. The faster you go in the lower atmosphere, the more fuel you waste. And so going up with the solid fuel is a good idea. It's not a bad idea. Going faster in atmosphere is more expensive than out of atmosphere. Why can I not throttle? Because I was pressing the wrong button, that's why. Well, expensive is not my problem. We don't really care about money. Where the hell is 90? I am supposed to start aiming at 90 at this stage. And I swear I don't understand how. This is the tiniest AP in the history of AP. Now we need the line of the horizon. This is the line of the horizon. I lost it again. Can you please? What do you mean don't aim at the horizon yet? I have been told that I was waiting far too long and that I had to start aiming at the horizon way before I usually do. And now you're telling me that I have to go even later? Sometimes I feel like you guys are telling me everything and also the opposite. It doesn't look like I am even maneuvering this thing. Am I even maneuvering? Everything and nothing all at once. Yeah, sometimes I feel like giving up. No, 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 no. Get back! I don't know how to get back! Display the orbit data. It's at 48. This is annoying me to no end. It's just, it's not doing what I am telling it to do. Or I should say, it is doing it, but extremely slowly. No, I don't want to throttle. Like, I can move without throttling. Like, I can throttle, but I didn't mean to throttle this hard. I forgot the button. Now, you know what? Just explode. It didn't even explode. Disappointing. I think I was doing better yesterday when I wasn't trying to optimize, when I wasn't trying to understand all of the things that you are telling me. Because the more info I have and the more confusion I have. All you have to control with is the tiny gas thrusters of the capsule. And you're wasting a ton of fuel because the rocket flips and because you have no fin. But earlier when we were in the vehicle assembly, I thought we all agreed that we didn't want to have fins on the second stage. I know how to orbit. I have done it multiple times. I don't think I need a YouTube tutorial. Otherwise, I would have never done it. It's just that I'm trying to do it, you know, bigger and better. You think fins sound good now? Yeah, but when we were thinking about fins earlier, you guys didn't think that they were good. So at this point, I don't know anymore. You do have a third stage with just the center rocket? Yes, I think I do. It's stage 1, rockets at the bottom. Stage 2, rockets to the side. Stage 3, rocket in the center. The third stage will be in space and won't need fins. What I am failing to understand is why I could easily reach space when we had only one pillar, and it seems to be harder now that technically we should be more powerful. Like, it should be easier, and instead it's harder. You said I might not want them. You were out of thick atmosphere when you staged, and then out of control authority from the liquid engine Kerbal. You apparently don't, so you need fins. But I am not understanding why we are not making it there. Too much drag. The thing is that I need more fuel or we are never gonna make it on the moon. When do I have to start turning? I thought someone said at 20k, but maybe it was at 20,000k. Now, why would I want to limit people? You guys can say whatever you want. First one. How do I throttle but just a little bit? This way. Like, I might not want to full throttle. Just are between 100 ms and 100 ms. What is M? I don't know what M is. No, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I know that it's meter per second, but I don't know where in all of these it is meter per second. I don't know where to see that. What is 90? Okay. So we're kinda there. Top of the navel, okay. We're sort of in the right place. Do I have to keep throttling? I think I have to keep throttling until we are out of the atmosphere. Right? So I wait until I pop up, that thing is at 100, and then I turn off. You want at least 80k before turning it off. But we are around 70. This is looking pretty decent. But I feel like this is not much fuel than we had before. Yeah, we might be doing good, but I don't see any difference. What the? I guess this was the right moment because it flipped me around. And so now we are in orbit. The thing is that I was expecting to conserve a lot more fuel. Like, this is hardly more than the same amount of fuel that we had the first times that we achieve orbit. Like, you get what I mean? The reason why I made my rocket so much bigger is that I was hoping to have enough fuel to reach the orbit of the moon. But this is not enough fuel to reach the orbit of the moon. I flew to 170 and then I turned right, so I wasted a ton of fuel. I mean, initially it flew by itself. Initially I was not controlling it. And then I went towards 90 when I started controlling it. You need way less fuel once you are in orbit. But now I basically do nothing until we are at AP again. We just wait. I forgot to pre-throttle. Yeah, but I activated it way before it became necessary. So I don't think it makes any difference. I am not quite in orbit, but rather than spending almost all of the fuel to circularize, that burn will be tiny. I thought it was, like, from the look of it, I thought it was nearly perfect. You click on the orbital indicator on the map to warp closer to it. The orbital... Oh, you mean like here? And so we basically have to be ready. When we are about to reach AP, I clicked Z. Like, do I do it now? Do I do it now? Already? Nemesis says do it now. I'm doing it now. And then I cut again. But now it's way less of a circle. Isn't it way less of a circle now? Are you a circle? No, it's not a circle, it's a ellipsis, I suppose. So you're telling me that now it's a matter of just doing this over and over? As long as I have fuel, and then never again? No, why no? Isn't what I have to do? Is that not what the tutorial told me to do? The tutorial told me that if I wanted to expand my orbit, make it bigger, I had to accelerate approaching AP, and then stop thrusting when getting closer to P. Like, this is literally the tutorial. You don't really want a giant circular orbit. I honestly thought that I needed to get way closer before I could transfer. You didn't do the moon tutorial? No, because it's boring as hell. Like, tutorials in this game are not really made decently, in my opinion. They give you a huge wall of text of info dump without showing you. Like, there should be arrows pointing at the things that you have to notice. There should be things that happen, let's say, automatically as the game is explaining you, and instead it just gives you a wall of text. Like, I can set the moon as a target. We just found an Italian movie called Robin Hood, Arrows, Beans and Karate. It sounds like as poor of a quality as something can be. Warped just before periapsis, wait until the moon comes out from behind Kerbin. Burn prograde. That will get you a moon encounter if you have fuel. A moon encounter that I am probably not going to see because I will be in this menu instead of looking. That is the moon. There is the moon. I see that there are these ascending node, descending node. What happens if I accelerate there? What happens if I get close to the ascending node and I accelerate? The tutorial terrible, but the manual is very nice. Rocket book icon. This one. Let's see if it tells me. Career science? No. Flight map control. Space travel. Orbital maneuver. I guess I'm dying. This is what I am looking for. Can I look at this while paused? No, I can't. Whatever. We can just orbit multiple times. An orbital maneuver that transfers the vessel from one circular orbit to another. Here is also used Oman design to move our orbit away from the planet, raising the orbit. To raise your orbit, you follow steps like burn. See, I think this is a much better tutorial because it counts with a diagram, not with a wall of text. Like, I think this should be the actual tutorial. The one that the game calls tutorial. Thank you, Mezzo. I thought I saw the book, but I thought it was just, you know, a list of words, a list of terms. Burn prograde. Watch for the apopsis to reach your desired altitude. Wait until you reach the new AP. Now burn prograde to circularize your orbit. For an elliptical orbit, the best place for step 1 is the PE. No, it's still too complicated for me. Use the game pointer to this instead. Yeah, it would be more useful, but it's still too complicated for me. Madman High. I am assuming that this is the same. Like any of the two ways we do it, we are still changing orbit. Ah, no. This is to go back. That is to go back. Every maneuver you make uses propellant, and rockets have a finite supply. Choosing the best time or place to make maneuver determines whether you complete your mission or have to go get out and push. Maneuver nodes are really useful in this situation. They help you see the cost of maneuvers before executing them. Adjusting the APP is most efficient at the opposite node. This means burning the AP to change the PE and vice versa. Using a maneuver node, we can see, this is an example, the delta V required to lower this orbit PE to 50 kilometers at 3 points is shown below. Now, I still don't understand shit. I feel like I am back in school and I am gonna get a 2 as a grade. I still don't get it. Like, is 1, 2, and 3... Like, first you do it at 1, then you do it at 2, and then you do it at 3? What is a good and a bad grade in Italy? It goes from 0 to 10. Actually. At least, you know, I am talking about during my time. I don't know if they have made changes after I was done with school, but during my time, elementary school, the grades went from gravemente insufficiente, which is like awfully not enough, all the way to ottimo, which is optimal. So you go from absolutely no, all the way to absolutely yes, and they were expressed in words. So you had awfully bad, slightly bad, bad, good, average, very good, incredibly good, And this was just elementary school, so grade from 1 to 5. Then middle school you started with numbers that go from 0 to 10. Now, no one ever gives you a 0, because then the final grade is supposed to be an average, and if you receive a 0, then good luck with making an average. So usually the lowest teachers are willing to go is 2. And 2 is like if you haven't written a single thing. Normally, if you tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, you get a 4. Like, I would say that when it comes to math, 4 was my usual grade, until I started becoming desperate, and I was like, oh, I need to get some decent grades, so that at the end of the year, the average is going to be 6, because 6 is the minimum to pass, and then I would start copying. So, I would actually do math to understand when was the right moment to start coping so that I could pass math. And this is middle school and high school. From 0 to 10, and then the final grade is the average of all of the grades. University, grades go from 0 to 30, and you pass, like the minimum to pass is 18. But this is exam after exam, like test after test. The final grade in university is expressed up to 110. And you pass if you obtain 60. You are very welcome. You understand why I am an extremely confused person now? Just random numbers. They are not, neither of them is random, but I just wish they would choose one method and apply to the entire like school career. Like just keep from 0 to 10 even in university. Lot of oral exam in university in Italy. I would say most of them. Maybe not most. I'm thinking about my own university. Yeah, I would honestly say that most of them had at least an oral part. As in, some were only oral, and some others, it was like 50-50. 50% of the grade was given by a written test, and 50% from the oral exam. And I think, honestly, I think it's for the best. Because that's the only way to be sure that the student has studied and they know what they deserve to pass. Like a written exam is far too easy to copy. Even nowadays, you know, we literally have a computer in our pockets. It's easy to hide. So the only way to make sure that you are letting people out of university and they are competent is through oral exams. The annoying part is if you want to continue studies elsewhere, and then you need to have a conversion. Sergeant Matrix, hello. You trust in the prograde and retrograde direction to adjust the eccentricity of an orbit. Chat, I think you are extremely eccentric. Remember finding oral exam in university way too easy? Even if you didn't remember some specific bits, you could just bullshit your way through. I wish I could say the same. It was actually very humiliating, depending on the professor. Some professors, namely the older ones, like the boomers, they were so rude. They made people cry. I remember showing up at his exam and there were 3 professors, and one of them was notoriously a piece of shit, and everybody knew. So imagine like 100 of students entering in a room. They see 3 professors sitting. Some of the students, like a good 30 of the students, entered and said, "Ah, shit, he is there," and they immediately left. Because some professors had such a bad name such a reputation of just not letting you pass unless you did everything perfect, that you might as well not show up and hope that the next time they will be on holiday. Because, you know, like, sometimes it happens since, again, like, there were 3 of them, sometimes there will be only 2 of them, and like, the very evil one wouldn't be there. And then I remember that exam in particular, like, people were praying that it would not be that one professor to call them. And he made a person cry. Like, I mean, she deserved it, because she sat down. First question, nothing. She didn't even open her mouth. Second question, nothing. She didn't even open her mouth. And then the professor asked a question like, can you please tell me the definition of the subject that you are giving an exam of? And she couldn't even do that. Like, she couldn't even tell the professor what was the subject about. And so he started humiliating her in public, because oral exams are public, and she cried. And some other people left. I don't think it's a messed up education system. I would rather study in Italy than in places where most of your exams are just, you know, like, you get 4 options and you have to check one. I don't really think that is enough. I don't think you actually learn anything if you can just throw in random answers. Future Mar, hello. I am staring at this as if it was actually... Okay, I think this is telling me that if you accelerate prograde... Now, if you accelerate prograde, you are making an ellipsis on a side. And if you accelerate at retrograde, you are making the ellipsis smaller. So this is if instead of a circle, you want to squash it. It's to shrink and grow the orbit oval, which is something that I might want to do now, I think. You shouldn't be able to get a correct mark by randomly guessing, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would rather go through a much more evil system, but at least people that get out of there, they know the subjects. Adjusting inclination. I am not sure that this is something that I need right now. And I also don't think this is something that I need right now. I think right now I need to do either this or just making an oval until my oval intertwines with the circle of the moon, and then eventually there should be like a point of meeting. Homan is what I want now. Can't I achieve the same result by intertwining my orbit? I need the Oman transfer, so I can't do it. My theory, since I haven't done the tutorial for changing orbit, my theory was that I had to intertwine my orbit with the other orbit, and then I could transfer from one point to the other. This is what Carlo was trying to tell me what to do. Yeah, but I didn't understand it when he said it, and I don't understand it here. I just don't get it. You will run out of fuel just expanding orbit over and over again. Which, see, this is the reason why I thought I needed a lot of fuel. I thought I needed all of the fuel in the world, because I thought that the way to change orbit was to intertwine it. Yes, no, I have read that. Reading something and understanding its meaning are two different concepts. Like sometimes you will read something and it will feel like it's written in a language that you can't even speak. And that's how it makes me feel. I don't get it. It's not that I don't get it. Like, I do understand the meaning of each one of those words. It's just too overwhelming. It's too many things that I have to keep in mind all at the same time. Yeah, it is literally rocket science, exactly. And you are talking to a person who decided to study economics. To raise your orbit, you follow steps like burn prograde. But where? The tutorial is not telling me. Like, do I burn prograde on apopsis? Do I burn it on periapsis? Like, where do I burn prograde? Where? Start here. So I have to start somewhere. Anywhere. Like, let's pretend the circle is cutting across. It's one of the edges of the cross. Watch for the apopsis to reach your desired altitude. But... game, it is your job to tell me what is my desired altitude. If you don't tell me, how am I supposed to know? Sir CB, thank you for the resub. Penny stocks go to the moon. I understand the stock market way better than I understand this. If you make a maneuver node, you can move it and see the difference. So it's this node is something that I have to make. Ascending node. I already have it. It's here. But it won't really tell me, it won't tell me anything about altitude. Like, I feel like the game is not giving me an information that I need to have. Or is the altitude that one? No, that is the altitude of the moon. That is not what they are talking about. You can create a node. Like here? Do I create it in a random spot? Or does it have to be in the same spot as I am looking at right now? I feel like I already said it a million of times, but the stock market is only gambling if you are using money that you need to survive. If you make conscious and informed choices, using money that you don't need to survive, and that's your money to invest. And if you're okay with not receiving that money back until it's the right time to do so, then it's not gambling. You are supposed to make informed choices. You are not supposed to just do it randomly. That is still gambling. I very much disagree. There are some things that you do on the stock market that are gambling, but there are also plenty of ways to invest your money that are pretty safe. All gambling should be done with money that you can afford to lose. If you ask me, actual gambling should just not be done. But that's my opinion. If people have fun, then so be it. I get really, I get sort of annoyed when I talk about this kind of stuff, because I don't have, we were actually talking about this a couple of streams ago. I don't have the property of language in English to really convey the message. And I just feel like this detachment that we, the regular people, have towards stuff like the stock market and these ideas that we have of it are exactly the reason why the rich become so much rich and the poor remain poor and become poorer. It's because we just, you know, we remain ignorant about their world and they profit of our ignorance. Like, they know they can get away with anything because most of us don't even understand what is going on, and they profit of our ignorance. And it's exactly the reason why they put an effort in making the general population remain as ignorant as possible about as many topics as possible. They want all of us to become stupid and ignorant so they can continue doing whatever they want. And the only way that we would have to fight is that we all become informed and we all understand in which ways they are trying to fuck us in the butt. And that's the only way we could prevent it, but too many of us, we just, you know, we feel detached and we let them continue fucking. And it would need so many of us, like many of us, to actually become informed to really make any change, and so it's never going to happen. There is always a chance that Misty lands in the wrong spot and messes everything. Well, that's true, and I guess it's going to be even more true. But like, my problem is that I would be able to say a lot of stuff, but my property of language in English is just not good enough to explain. And so sometimes I don't know, I feel like I just sound like a dick, to be honest, because I can't really explain what I really mean. See, stock market is gambling because there are a ton of options and mistakes that people can make. How do you avoid making those mistakes? By informing yourself and studying and making informed choices, so that it's not gambling anymore. It's only gambling if you do it randomly. It is gambling if you expect to dump money in there kinda randomly and then you become immediately rich. But it's totally possible to invest a little bit in safe ways and just, you know, create sort of like a comfortable pillow for yourself, so that if shit hits the fan, you can safely have a little bit, not like, I'm not talking about becoming rich, I'm talking about just having enough that if something happens, you are still safe for a while. Yeah, that's what I keep saying. The stock market is gambling if you do it randomly. If you don't know what you are doing, if you set your expectation in the wrong way. You don't remember this string being so serious. It's making you uncomfortable. Pee pee poo poo. Penis. Pee. 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 Psh. Pissing. I hope this might have helped you. Honk! 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 Do you have money in stocks? No, because I don't have money to invest. Honk! Now, do I understand the stock market? Yes. Do I understand the Homan transfer? No. No. The second message I typed was, "You sound very angry over such a trivial thing." I am angry about this thing that we were talking about. I am angry about how people purposefully detach themselves from things that they are uncomfortable with and they don't want to understand. And then they don't even see where the dick is coming. 12 angry pennies. Right now I am angry because I am not understanding the Homan transfer at all. And I have been staring at this thing and I am trying to understand and I just don't get it. I don't get it. This looks like toilet paper. This really does. You know what grinds my... Yeah, my gears are very grinded. Every single time. It's not even something that I feel like I cause, but every single time we end up on this topic of the stock market is gambling, eat the rich and all of that. I always feel like people complain. And if only we, and by we I mean the vast majority of the human population, if we actually put an effort in understanding all of that stuff, then those other people who profit out of the situation of ignorance, they wouldn't be able to profit of that anymore. And we would actually have a lot more power. But it's easier to complain than to understand. You can play around with maneuver nodes if you reach orbit and get an understanding of how it works. I am literally orbiting right now. Maystar, thank you for the 2 years. Appreciate. Can you please avoid saying anything smart? This is actually... It's something that I suffer deeply. And I am not, like, now you might think that I am being ironic. I am not. I deeply suffer because sometimes I watch other streams in which it's perfectly normal to have serious conversation about stuff that has an impact on all of the lives of people. And chat is like, oh yeah, streamer, hell yeah, stream. Like, you know, it's more of a positive... It's more of a positive environment for serious conversation. While I always feel like if I try to have a serious conversation, half of the problem is, again, my property of language. I simply don't have the words sometimes to convey what I am trying to say. And second, a lot of people will be like, I don't want this random woman to talk about this stuff. If I want to talk about this stuff, I'm gonna go listen to some bald guy with a beard on YouTube. You think it was very clear and useful, thank you. Like, I really wish I could talk about random stuff and not just about, oh hey chat, there is an orbit, I am orbiting. It's orbit time. Which is kind of like morbing time, but in a circle. And of course I am not saying that I wish to talk about the economy all the time. God, that will give me anxiety. But in general, like, sometimes I wish to be able to talk about stuff other than those 3 topics that we always talk about. Like, you know, there is only that much that we can say about movies and music and whatever video game. The fact that I am not a native English speaker definitely hinders me. You do sometimes feel intimidated by certain chatlings that have but a fraction of your massively Italian IQ. You really can't recite the Divine Comedy by memory and run on the hamster wheel at the same time. Fatti non foste per vivere come bruti. Hamsters. Fatti non foste per vivere come criceti. We also talk about pasta grannies. I saw a pasta grannies videos that I totally want to show you. 100%. Am I running for office? You know, growing up at a certain point of my life in high school, I thought I was going to become a politician because I enjoy debates. Like, I am not just someone who would be okay in a debate, but, you know, I really wish I didn't have to do this. No, I really love it. You have no idea of the amount of times I see journalists interviewing politicians on TV, and I think those journalists are idiots. They are not asking the right questions. And even when they do ask the right questions, they are not capable of getting back in the right way. And I really wish I was there. I would do such a great job. Politician. I love debates. You like arguing just for the sake of arguing, even if you agree with someone. No, I don't like that, but I do enjoy debating about a topic, even if you know, me and the person I am talking with both agree about the topic. I like talking about stuff. There is some overlap between your job skills and the job skills of a politician. I have always been more than okay with public speech. I remember back in high school when I was the representative of my class, and we had a meeting with all of the representatives of all of the classes and the teachers. And we were fighting for the right of finally having toilet paper and soap in the bathrooms. And God, I remember arguing so badly that in the end we obtained toilet paper and soap in the bathroom. Then in a matter of a week, somebody pooped in the soap dispenser, and they took that right away from us. And honestly, they did the right thing. We don't deserve it. Chat, sometimes we are given rights and we don't deserve them. People were playing volleyball with the toilet paper rolls and pooping in the soap dispenser. Yeah, I said bald-bearded YouTuber, but that could apply to Drongo as well. It's like some people... I'm not talking about all of you, chat, of course, but some people, if I dare talking about something serious and not just haha pee pee poo poo game, they just don't take, either they don't take me seriously, because I am not a native English speaker, and so of course I am stupid, or it's not that they don't take me seriously, it's that they just don't want me to talk about serious stuff. Are we mooning? Right now I am circling around Earth, Kerbal, whatever is the name, and I have been trying so hard to understand what is this. Like, I have been staring at this graph for so long, quiet, that we ended up talking about economics and politics instead. Imagine how serious is my non-understanding of this. If I want to speak about serious topics, I need to become bald and British. About what? About what? Wisdom! Then I will totally slap mayo on my face. Drongo holds passport of all the dominions and the mainland. He used to be Agent 003. 0067, everybody. Are you sure that was in a school and not in a zoo? I jokingly say that the school where I used to go to was the last step before jail. And sometimes I didn't even know which one of the two it might have been. Place a maneuver node and play with it. But I am not even understanding where it should go. Someone say the trigger word, that is why we talk about economics. Oh right, somebody said gambling. Yeah. That was the trigger. Speaking of this stuff, it's 3 PM and you're hungry, something is wrong with you. Let me guess, let me guess, you had carbs and only carbs for lunch. Because you are Italian, so of course you had carbs and only carbs for lunch. And I am assuming, because you are Italian, that you also had carbs for breakfast. And you didn't have a single bit of protein. That's why you're hungry. That's also why I am hungry. You need to put it in your orbit. Okay, but my orbit is very big. The only solution is more carb. I mean, that will fix the hunger problem for a while. For a while. Let's pretend. Why is this Ascension node not right? Why can't I just go to the Ascension node? Why do you guys want me to place another one? When there is one that it really looks like it's already doing the right thing. And it's exactly in the position, like, you see? It's on one of the edges. It's on one of... Well, it's a circle, it doesn't have edges. You get what I mean. Pretend there is a cross, it's on one of the tips of the cross. What kind of carbs? I had gnocchi. Gnocchi. Lex, hello. Cigarettes and coffee, the typical Italian breakfast. Because that is not what I need to demonstrate what we are trying to show you. So I just put it in a random place. That's what you want. You want me to put it in a random place. Okay. Ah! Okay, but guys, this is literally what I was talking about. Like, didn't I say earlier that before all of the backseating and before trying to read the tutorial, my idea of what I would have had to do was to intertwine with the orbit of the moon. So I had the right idea. I just absolutely didn't have a clue about how to make it happen. But I sort of had the right idea. Cash boy, hi. But I am assuming... Well, no, it's okay, it's the same. I might want AP to be exactly there, right? So when we arrive here at the node, we prograde. In that exact moment, there is a big red part on my MS meter. Where the heck is my MS? This is my MS meter. If you put the node in a different place, you can meet the moon. I mean, my idea was that if the AP of this new ellipsis touches the orbit of the moon, even if I am not exactly on the moon, I will start circling around and then eventually meet the moon. Now, move it along your orbit and get the timing right so you meet the moon and not just the moon orbit. But is it not okay to enter in the moon orbit? I mean, it takes more time. Not without burning a lot more fuel, and we already don't really have a lot of fuel. Like, this is a suicide mission for the poor Jebediah. Jebediah will die. The maneuver that I have planned is mostly radial, not prograde. But this said burn prograde. How do I move this guy? This is how I move this guy. So this way, This way we meet the moon. You aim to be captured by the moon's gravity. Am I ever gonna have enough fuel to go back? No, right? Not a chance in hell. Baxos was saying something. The human transfer note also say the best place was to start step 1 on PE. So if this is PE... No, now I have far too many of these. How do I remove this? Remove this! Okay. This is PE. Don't ask me what am I doing. Whatever I am doing is wrong. Can you please come back? It's not coming back. It's not coming back? No. No? No. We need to do another one. The plant maneuver goes through the center of Kerbal. The Bacon Dragon, thank you for the raid. Welcome raiders, welcome everybody. Welcome to the land of confusion. I have no idea what am I trying to do. Or I should say, I know what I'm trying to do, I have no idea of how to do it. Because we are trying... I don't have enough fuel to go to the moon, but I am trying to at least enter in the orbit of the moon, and no. I don't really get it. You will not encounter the moon by the current node, but if you find adjust it and move, you will eventually get a moon encounter. Are we winning? No. No. I mean, technically we're winning, because as you can see, we are orbiting. Nothing can really kill me as long as I just keep orbiting. So for now, we are not dying. And if we are not dying, we are sort of winning, right? Technically. But are we making all the way to the place where we want to go? No. No way. There is enough fuel, just need to optimize. I don't ever node anyone in orbit, give it about 900 ms prograde, and then move the node around to see what happens. But why do I have to give it about 900? Like, see, that is the passage that I am not getting. Consider a moon will keep moving while you also travel, so aim ahead of it. I am making progress, yeah. Yesterday I spent basically all of the stream just to understand how to orbit. And now orbiting became much easier, and the real problem is to change orbit. Changing orbit, And chat is trying to help me, but I swear, I really don't understand what they say. 900 is roughly what you need to reach the moon orbit, but how do I get that information? Like, I need to be able to understand the right things to do, even when you guys don't tell me. I need to understand where to fetch the information that I need. I just want to see blow up. Oh, but they have already seen that many times. Poor Jebediah is having a pretty rough time. Add maneuver. Okay. Then we need to expand this. And this would be ahead. So you're telling me that something like this would already do? Blue is radial, green is prograde. Oh, so each one of these is different. Hold on. Add maneuver. Which one of you is prograde? This one is prograde. But now it's not in the right position. So we need to move the position away, I think. Maybe. And Raiders, welcome to the stream. I play a variety of games. I go to the point where I play anything that looks fun, and this is fun, but it's also so... It's a bit infuriating, isn't it? I think it's a little bit infuriating. Because it's putting myself in front of all of the things that I don't understand. And now I made a mess. I created so many things. And I want to remove them. They are cluttering my brain. And I can't even move them. Just remove everything. I need this to go away. How do I make it go away? Rapid James, hello, welcome. You know what else clutters your brain? The heat. This awful heat wave. Yellow with the tree spike is forward. I had an encounter now. Now where? Oh, like this? But it's too late now, isn't it? Isn't it too late? I am still missing. What am I supposed to do now? Like, there is always one more passage that I don't get. Do I give it prograde and just go? I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna do it. This is probably not how it works. Hold on. Am I on the new one? No, I am not on the new one. For a second I thought I was on the new one. We are not on the new one. Then I still don't understand how to do it. And I am so confused. There is no... The blue... What the hell is a Kerbal escape now? I don't know what am I doing anymore. I really have no idea. Are you telling me that now I can... Hold on. Can I move here? No. It won't let me click on anything anymore. Warp to the next maneuver. At this point, I am literally just experimenting. Are we even moving? We are moving. I am past the maneuver, so it was confused, and it's now sending me all the way to a Kerbal escape. Whatever a Kerbal escape is supposed to be. And at this point, I do want to go on that Kerbal escape and see what happens. Because why wouldn't I? Well, we are very far. We are extremely far. Buddy, do you want to go outside? We are as far as you could possibly be. Mystery conservation can only be externally controlled by a scientist. You have a point. You totally have a point. Can you please give me a report? Thank you. I guess you can go back inside. I am now in orbit around the star rather than around Kerbal. So I became a planet. Log pressure data. The instrument reads 0. We are in a vacuum. I'm not surprised. What about the temperature? Measuring the temperature of space appears to be impossible. All of these experiments are very important. Remove the... Observe mystery goo. The goo feels right at home. I thought we had an antenna. Don't we have an antenna? I was fairly sure that I gave this one an antenna. Did the antenna burn? The antenna was considered too phallic and removed by the committee. The antenna need to be deployed. I have no idea. I really don't know. Trying to see if I see anything about the antenna here. Crew report. Crew reporting in from space. That's exactly where you guys are. Review data, remove from symmetry, aim camera. I was trying to see if we could transmit. It probably burned, that wouldn't surprise me. But usually when something burns, everything burns. So it's surprising that all of the other things didn't burn. Because now there is no way that I can make it back. F3. Is F3 going to tell me if I do have an antenna? Use politics skills to convince the crew that it's not your fault they are flying to the sun. Don't you see, Jebediah? He has never been happier. Looks like a nice place to build a home. Away from the nuisances, exactly. Like, why do you think Jebediah is smiling? It doesn't say that anything burned. Oh, okay, it would say... Then I guess one of the times that we reworked the rocket, I might have removed the antenna by accident. Because I really don't see it anywhere. I wanted to send the transmission home, but it looks like we can't. Miku, hi. Lights, crew report. No, I don't see anything about an antenna. Nope. Those are all batteries. That's a barometer. I think I didn't save. I think I might have added it and then removed it and then I didn't save, so we don't have it. Which means that all of this science is absolutely for nothing. Jeb looks happy and at peace, yeah. And you know what, at this point... Let's see what happens. Whee! Where are we now precisely? Somewhere. Are we lost? I feel like I need to ask. Are we lost in space? He's the first person to have the honor to reside in my planet, true? Let's keep going. Yeah, he's the happiest little fella. He has never been so happy in his life. Where are we? I love it because we are going so far away. And I hate it because I don't have a way to go home. So, fine. Or at least I don't think we have a way to go home. I still have a tiny little bit of fuel. But look at how far we are. There is the maneuver Delta V. Do I have a way from here to make it to the moon? With this tiny little bit of fuel that I have? That is my old maneuver. What? This one? Look at all of these question marks. The game was telling me that we were kinda close to an object. Maybe if I wait enough years. I mean, I am so past the moon. We can add another maneuver and then try to understand how it works. But trying to understand, that is the key. This is the key word. I don't understand. We are shrinking this one. Can I enter into the sun? Can I enter into the sun? Probably we would burn a lot before. If you got enough fuel, but I don't need fuel, right? Don't I just need to enter in another orbit? I don't even know where the moon is anymore. I don't know. Chat, I don't know where home is. I lost my home. You need fuel to change orbit. Yes, but like, you don't really need that much. Chat, where is home? I don't think I can find home anymore. That's Duna, unknown object, Eve, Moho. I might have lost home. Home is where the heart is. I might have ended up. Am I under a different sun? Kerbin! Oh, we found it. But if there is Kerbin, then where the hell is the moon? Why do I not see the moon anymore? These are all unknown objects. Not a single one of them is the moon. I can't see it anymore. The moon is orbiting Kerbin. I'm just not zoomed enough to see. Ah, okay. So if I want to make it back there, which is a very big... No, stop moving! If I want Kerbin as the target, closest approach, I am so confused. Maybe slow the time. It's not really... It doesn't change that I am extremely confused about what to do. Because I am very confused about what to do. Is this doing anything? This is kinda doing something. But it's the wrong one. it's really not easy to click. So every time it's easier for me to just remove. Look at the entire orbit. It's too tiny. Like, I can hardly see anything. Do I have a way? I don't have a way to zoom and move. No, I don't have a way to... I don't have a way to zoom and move the camera so that I am closer there. Target position at closest approach. Do I want to add a maneuver there? And then we need prograde. And then I am still not... It's not doing anything. Urban Hangman, thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. You are joining me at a very peculiar time. The time of not understanding anything. I accidentally ended up in the place where I am. I don't know how to go back where I came from. Is Firebot down again? Firebot is down again. I can't stand this bot anymore. It literally just keeps going down at least once a day. But like, that is the minimum. Minimum once a day. And I can't just, you know, easily reconnect it because it really removes. Yeah, it's Firebot. Firebot has been driving me nuts. Because now it wants me to reconnect, but it's not just click and then you are back. There is more stuff that I have to do. But it's been really annoying lately. Hold on a second. I am trying. I'm trying to fix it. If I don't get to fix it in like 1 second, then it will stay broken. It wasn't this way. It's kind of a recent change. Why are you not activating now? Okay. Feeling better now, Firebot? Are you okay? You are okay, but I have to reset it. Let's sacrifice Firebot to our gods. I mean, if it continues being a trouble, it should be up now. It should work. But if it continues being a trouble, I might look into StreamerBot, reinstall it. Yeah, I feel like that's what I have to do. Sherv, thank you for gifting us up to Urban Hangman. Thank you so much for the raid. I am so sorry because first, I am not understanding anything in the game. Second, you joined in the middle of tech issues. I am so sorry. Hope you had an amazing stream other than not understanding anything. Thank you for sharing your community here with me. We are trying to reach the moon. My objective of the day was let's make it to the moon. Now, I accidentally went into an orbit, like I am not even orbiting around the planet anymore. And the moon orbits around the planet, and I don't even know how to make it back. And at this point, like, chat has been trying to backseat me, but I feel like I am completely immune to backseating because I don't understand. No. I think I was getting somewhere. I think it was almost making sense. Okay, if the trajectory... No, it's still not intertwining. Today's goal was to make it to orbit. I can go to orbit. Oh, your objective, sorry. I thought... See, my brain is dying. We failed multiple times. I think one of the best times yesterday, when I made it to orbit, it was a time that for whatever reason my rocket looked like human appendage, because instead of going up, I don't even know why, but it was very, you know, flaccid, and it started being like. That was one of the best fails. It just started flapping around until eventually it crashed on the surface of Kerbin. But yeah, it was very suggestive. The word is no. Of course, I am not talking about that. We are talking about foot. It looked like a foot. This is still not the same orbit. Am I ever gonna make it back? Urban, you are basically looking at your future right now. After you make it into orbit, you will want to make it into the orbit of the moon. Because that sounds like, you know, a natural second stage. And then if you are like me, it's just not going to work. Okay, let's say that I expand. Is this going to work? I wish I could move up and down. Like I need to go there. I need to go there and see what happens there, and I can't zoom. Like if I zoom, I'd zoom on my spaceship. But I would like to zoom there. And I can't. What about this one? What if we come here? Prograde is expanding. So we don't want prograde. We want retrograde. Isn't it?
Say bye.
Slug, thank you!
Thanks.
That also serves as a test. Firebot is back. For the streamers not understanding what they are doing, and they are doing so much farther than almost anyone does in day 2. Yeah, but I think it's probably for the best if I revert to the launchpad. There is a marker for closest encounter. Change a maneuver to get them closer. That is what I was trying to do. But the problem is that you see that it's all the way up there. And I can't zoom. Like, if I zoom, it constantly zooms on my spaceship. And I would like to be able to zoom to any part of the screen where I would like to look, and I can't. After you make it into orbit, you will start suffering from success like Penny. Apparently so. Being in the same orbit will rarely get you an encounter, because if your orbit is the same, you will stay at the same distance away. You can be in a given orbit and then go faster in that orbit. No, but that is not what I am trying to do. What I am trying to do is go back to the Kerbin orbit. Slug, thank you for gifting us up to Swiftshot, who is another streamer, Sander Sarah, Carrot Shadow, Cassin, and Tiggle. Everybody enjoy. Usually this happens when you miss the moon. Oh, I totally missed the moon. Not only I missed it, but then I saw that there was a straight line, and I said, what happens if I skip time, if I go at max warp, and we follow that line? And now I know what happens when you follow that line. Tab lets you move between planets in the map. Thank you. This is sort of helping. Like, there has to be one that is closer. Yevgil Kerbin. It's still not perfect, because the place where I would like to zoom is not close to any planet. Toastman, see you next time! Astronaut, I am not capable of going anywhere. I tried to encounter the moon and now look at what happened. Ascending node. We are on the blue one. Add maneuver. Prograde. No, that was wrong. I think this is the best I can achieve. Right? Maybe. But I also still don't really know how to move there, because I still don't get it. To get back to Kerbal orbit, which is not the same as getting back to Kerbal, try putting maneuver while yours and Kerbal orbit intersect, and play with radial in and out. In this case, because how the orbit differ, that might not get you an encounter. I mean, I think that's what I did, but now I don't know how to move there, to the other orbit. For the same reason why I didn't know how to move to the moon's orbit. I changed prograde and is it wrong? I thought prograde was the way you change. I'm giving up. Didn't it literally say burn prograde when you want to transfer from one orbit to another? Burn prograde. Am I not looking at something that happens with prograde? I spent basically half of the stream trying to understand this. Am I in a higher or lower orbit to Kerbal? Lower? We are on the blue one and Kerbal is there. Yellow. You know what? I had enough. We were going nowhere. Now, back to the original idea. First, I would like to know if I actually do have an antenna. That is what I did and it went poorly. You are orbiting Kerbal now, not Kerbal. What is Kerbal? I don't even know what Kerbal is the star. I am gonna get the worst headache of my life. Where is communication? I did not have an antenna. I guess now I do have an antenna. Now back to trying to enter in the orbit of the moon, or to meet the moon, or to do anything that it's even barely related to the moon. Because that's what we want to do. We have to start with the usual. We first need to orbit around this planet, right? Then from the orbit around this planet, we can try and change into the orbit of the moon, or to intercept the moon. But first we have to orbit anyway, right? So that's what we're gonna do. But first I need to pee. Be right back.